We have looked at issues concerning the politics of our state as they affect our party. You will recall our Congress venue was destroyed. Our office was also touched by the destructions. And we have also been to the office today. We have inspected it and took stock of the damages that were done on the office. But we remain undaunted in our pursuit for democratic excellence, justice, and fair play in Zamfara State. However, we are disturbed by the information we are getting that the government of the state has a plan to go after our principal officers and other party members, using the instruments of the state to coerce, intimidate, and cajole our membership, all aimed at silencing the main opposition party in the state, the People's Democratic Party, PDP. We shall not yield, we shall not succumb, and no intimidation or harassment will make us to remain silent. We understand my deputy, Professor Kabiru Jabaka, is now being sought for by all means to be arrested. We understand the state government has gotten an arrest warrant to arrest him for no offense other than that he spoke the facts about the governors leaving his state while people were being murdered, massacred, abducted, and raped, and went across the border to Niger Republic to watch wrestling and donating heavy sum of money from the Zamfara state coffers. Professor Jabaka also has highlighted the 31 billion 310 million naira that were misappropriated in the name of security vote by the government. That he demanded explanation, and that is his greatest sin. That's his crime. Enlightening the people of Zamfara and the world at large how their money is being spent or is being used, and that is his own offense. And for that, he's been sought. We don't know what they intend to do with him. There cannot be democracy without opposition. There cannot be democracy without opposition voicing out, because the people don't voice out, they can't voice out, they look onto opposition to voice out the ills or the wrongs of the government, not to ridicule anybody, but to make the government to do the correct thing. Yes. That is the essence of opposition. We say where the government does not do well, where it goes wrong, so that they can correct themselves and do the needful for the benefit of the people of the state. That is our aim. That is it. We are not to cajole anybody. We are not unnecessarily making criticism. But we are saying adjust, correct, and do the needful for the people of the state. And for that, we have committed a crime. So our principal officers are being sought for. They are being haunted for speaking out, telling the government to make corrections, to correct itself. That is the essence of opposition. And that is what we are doing. And we are not going to be silent. If the government wants us to be silent, they should do the needful. They should do the right thing. They will not hear us talking because you have nothing to say. But as long as officially we are an opposition party, then we will perform the role of the opposition party. And that is what we are doing. So we call on the relevant security agencies to please exercise due diligence and caution while treating opposition officers. It is sad that opposition officers will be sought for like animals being hunted. It's not only we politicians in the opposition, but even you, the press, you are not left out. Once the government judges, you release an offensive news item, they go after you. You can remember what happened to thunder blowers. What have they done wrong? They are meant to listen to all sides and air all sides. And for that, they deserved punishment. Their offices were boggled, their equipment destroyed, some carted away. What is the aim? To teach them a lesson. Why should they listen to other voices other than the government? This, no doubt, is the incipient state of an emerging dictatorial regime. Emergence of dictatorship in the state. And we are calling on all lovers of democracy and true Democrats, civil society organizations, and national communities and international communities to take note of the suppression of the opposition parties in Zamfara state and take necessary action, speak out. We will call on the well-wishers of democracy, of the international community, to do the needful, to discourage this kind of attitude by denying visa to the perpetrators of this undemocratic attitude. If they want to kill democracy, then they don't deserve to go to democratic nations. And this is my call for the democratic world, not to issue visas to undemocratic elements in our state. Thank you, gentlemen. There are not 58, there are more than 200 from the report we, the opposition, are getting. In Bukuyum alone, they discovered over 150 corpses. In Bukuyum, the report getting to me today. So, our position, we've been calling on both the federal, the state, and the various security agencies to be alive to their responsibilities in order to save the lives of our citizens and keep them safe. You can see our people are scattered. They run from the villages to urban areas. and there is no provision for them. We have not even encouraged NGOs to come and help them, such as Medicine Sans Frontier, Oxfam, and all others. They are not here. But wherever you have such crisis like this, you find these NGOs in abundance. But I don't know why they are absent in Zamfara state. Maybe it's our attitude, maybe it's the environment, maybe it's the government, I don't know. You see, these people, the governor and his associates, including his godfather, Yarima, we are used to their accusations. As far back as the year 2000, they accused us, they called us non-believers, that we are fighting Islam. Now it is very clear, 20 years after, who is fighting Islam? Is it we or them? Number two, Yerima in 2003 went on the podium in Safe and accused our father, General Ali Gusau, of stealing ballot boxes. Because he was a governor, he had immunity, would have taken action against him. And he sent his people, they came to General Ali Gusau's house. There was no single ballot box. It's all lie. It's just cheap blackmail in order to win election. I myself, they accused me in the year 2000 when we had the biggest rally ever in the Zamfara state. And they said I brought non-believers from Kaduna with a lot of alcoholic consignments. We got drunk and I gave it to them, and they were pouring on billboards with Islamic inscriptions. That is lie. When I was in office as chief of staff, this same boy making accusation, this Yusuf Idris, he came to my office and said, "Sir, we didn't know you. We didn't know you are so good. Now we know you are a gentleman. Sir, you have to forgive me." I said, "Yusuf, to forgive you for what?" He said, "Sir, you have to forgive me. Please forgive me." I said, "No, I want to know why you are asking for forgiveness." He said, "You see, in the year 2000, I was the ringleader. We were the ones Serima used to go all over the place and say you are alcoholic and you brought non-believers, you get an alcohol to pour on the billboards with Islamic inscriptions." I said, "So you did it. What have you gained from it?" He says, "Sir, just forgive me." And it's the same boy now coming to say it's General Ali Gusau who is responsible for banditry. So it is the trading stock he is used to it. They give you a little stipends, he does that. We have seen Andy, let Andy. There was no lies, fabrications he didn't say against us and against General Ali Gusau, which were all lies. So people of Zamfara now are used to these lies. They don't take them serious. If you want to survive politically, then work, discharge your duty responsibly, and then the people will follow you. You don't have to start making false accusations against innocent people, against person who is your father. You don't do that. Work, there is no work. They fill this town with billboards with their photographs. There is no single work to see. Just billboards, billboards, billboards everywhere in town. There is no work. So opposition has to speak out. And that is our crime. And we shall continue to speak out. But we are calling on responsible organizations and responsible agencies of government to be alive to their responsibility. I see no reason why a judge should give out arrest warrant when there is no offense. He should investigate if there is any offense before issuing arrest warrant. More so when the person the warrant is to be issued against is a PDP officer. We are officers. if the publicity secretary of APC can make such damaging allegations against General Ali Gusau and is working freely, why should Jabaka now be sought for saying that the government misappropriated 31 billion naira? The government should come out and defend itself. That the same spokesman should come out and make the position of the government to the people. But not to say, let them go and hunt Jabaka and deal with him. No. We are going to resist any attempt to coerce us. We will resist it. We will not yield to intimidation. And this dictatorship that is creeping into system, into Zamfara politics, we will not allow it. We will fight it. Dictatorship will not succeed here. They should go elsewhere, but not here, not this time around. If they did it before, 20 years ago, and they succeeded, this time, 2022, we will fight the emerging dictatorship in the Zamfara state. We are Democrats. We root for democracy, and we will make sure democracy prevails in Zamfara state, not dictatorship. Thank you, gentlemen.